Alright guys, so we are here for another studio update video, XBN Studios. I want to say Friday Night Tech season, oh god, what is it now, 8, and I think Furcast is on 7. Shows how much I know, I don't even remember the freaking season numbers. Anyway, so this is just a quickie little update video. You guys always request these, I always do them every season just to kind of show the things that have changed in the studio and what we've added or what's modified or what's better, whatever. So one of the most major things that we've actually changed is this guy right here. This is a kind of a replica of a camera shot that we did once when my video producer, Freeze Frame, that's his name, showed up, and we had a camera view kind of like that right there on all of us, and that's of course what's running on the TV right there. I can put my hand in front of it. You'll also notice that it's nice and smooth 60 frame per second video, and I'm filming this in 60 frames per second as well. And so everything we do now is 60 FPS, including the graphics on the screen. But this little DSLR, oh man, we went through quite a lot to get this thing working. So first thing you notice is that there's a lot of cables coming out of it. So let's start with the most ridiculous part, overheating. So for those of you who don't have much experience with DSLRs, they do overheat if you use them for an extended period of time in video mode, live view mode, long exposure, whatever. And the reason why is because the sensors aren't quite made to be on that long. And so a lot of times they'll just overheat. But this one, actually the sensor is fine. It's actually the CPU that would overheat because it's encoding video. And you're probably wondering, well, wait a minute. If we're running a video signal out and then over to the studio, why would we record video on this? Well, we have to, because you'll notice that this is nice, smooth, 60 frames per second. If I stop recording on the camera right here, then you might notice that it's a little choppier on the TV. That is 30 frames per second. And so basically we have to record on this camera to actually keep it outputting 60 FPS. And in order to keep it recording, because of course it only records for 29 minutes and 59 seconds, we have this thing plugged in. This is an intervalometer. So for those of you who don't know what an intervalometer is, these have a common use with people who do like landscape, what's the word I'm looking for? Time lapse, that's it. So this is like great for time lapse photography. You can tell it to, it's basically like a remote trigger button for the camera, the shutter button, except it's timed. And so what it does is the camera records for 29 minutes, 59 seconds, and then that triggers the camera to record every 30 minutes and 1 second. And so the effect is almost continuous, 60 frames per second video going to the TV and everything like that. Of course, it stopped recording when I hit that button on the intervalometer down there. So let's see, we've got HDMI, we've got the intervalometer, we've got power going to the camera right down here and up into the battery slot, and then we have the most ridiculous aspect of this, the fan. So this is like a little Radio Shack fan, which is jerry-rigged down the tripod. I'm going to try to show this here. I apologize, this camera is not very wide angle. And I have this bundled together bit of cable. It is all electrical tape and wires and everything. And I have a little switch to turn the fan on and off. And it works. It keeps the camera cool, it doesn't overheat anymore, and problem solved. So now that we've got that, a lot of this hasn't changed. A lot of it is just like basic computer maintenance, added RAM to a few machines. If anything, this machine, the music computer, is probably going to be up next for maintenance. Currently it's got about 10 gigs of free space in the hard drive, and it's only got a 10x100, as in 100 base TX Ethernet card in it, so transferring music onto it can be a bit hectic, especially when I'm, pressing for time. It takes forever to transfer stuff, and so that's just kind of driving me crazy. So that maintenance might get done some point soon. But all the rest of the machines are doing pretty well, including the new graphics playout machine, which is this is a trying to remember the case. I'll put the case name in the annotations of the video. I love this case. It's completely lined with acoustic foam and googly eyes, allegedly. And it's very, very quiet, very nice. And I actually took this computer to Anthrocon last year, and I'm going to do it again this year, to do all of the on-screen graphics. And that's, of course, the graphics playout machine into the video mixers. And I'll get to those in a second. First, I also want to show you, probably already noticed, the new table. So this is not paint. This is Plastidip. Plastidip is basically effectively spray-on rubber.
and it has a kind of a rough texture to it. I don't know if you guys can see that in this video here, but it is not exactly smooth. In fact, it's actually almost sticky, to be honest. And people who put this stuff on cars love it, because the cool thing is you can actually just peel this stuff, and it's rubber, so it'll actually just completely peel off. So it's one of those things where you can paint something, and if you don't like how it turns out, you just peel it off and do it again. So we did the outer rim red, and then of course Pharaoh did his whole section here blue. And I'm going to come over to this side. It's kind of hard with the tripod here. There's not much space in here, although there is at least a little bit of space so you can stand here, so you can operate our new whiteboard. Yeah, we kind of went ridiculous. So we completely reorganized this whole wall. All of the cabling is in hooks. In fact, actually the whole room is. So all of the cabling is nicely bundled now. Bundled as nicely as we could. Right next, sorry about the 5000K lighting there. But we tried to make that as neat as possible going down. But anyway, so going back to this wall, we kind of reorganized the whole thing and made it look just a bit nicer. You know, I mean, as nice as we could. And then we decided to put in this. So I guess we're going to have fun with this. Currently, this PTZ camera right here is the one that's kind of focused on that. I'm not sure if I'm going to add a different camera or not. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that whole thing. You know, maybe I'll get some lighting on it, and I don't know. We'll figure something out. And let's see. I'm going to try to cross right here. So this is also another big thing that we organized and redid. So this is kind of a memorabilia shelf of all of our history, essentially. All the stuff that fans have sent us, all these just various ridiculous memories. And I can kind of come up here and just show you. So we got the badge holders that we're selling this season. We got the water bottles from 2 seasons ago. There's an Anthrocon Whore dollar up there. That's a story. That's a story. These are a story. The glitter's a story. Lots of just like pieces of our past. Here's all the Dreamkeepers comics that we got when we interviewed Dreamkeepers. They gave those to us. If anyone remembers that, I am so sorry. And just random badges and all kinds of stuff from our history. This is our gold medal we got for the Extra Life campaign. Thank you guys for the couple $1,000s of donations there. And then we have the Book of Mormon, all the religious pamphlets that we've read on the show, right next to some gay porn. Pretty appropriate. We have a Pepsi that Mike Paws, the person who runs our Maestro Paws show, he brought that, and it's a Pepsi from the UK. So I kept that. We just got all kinds of badges. This is the first webcam we ever used for the show. That was our first camera. So from that to that and that and that and that and all the other cameras all around, I guess we've come pretty far. These are like Christmas cards that people have sent us. And it's not exactly very well organized now. There's a lot of stuff hidden in there. Down here, we also have a little folder which has tons of notes that people have sent us over the years. So eventually we're going to finish organizing it and maybe do like a little presentation, me and Pharaoh. Just so many memories on that shelf. Let's see, what else has changed since last season? So this TV is new. This is for the secondary video mixer. Let me pull down this microphone here. So this is the secondary video mixer, and you can see me on the camera right there. Hi. And there's the main video mixer there. That's where the graphics playout is. You can see we've got graphics key and graphics fill. We're not using all the channels on this mixer yet, so I just named them YIF for now. And there's the, it still says PTZ. That's the old HDMI input for that, but that's that camera that we're currently running over onto the TV. And we moved that sign so that it's nicely in Pharaoh's shot. You guys might know Pharaoh's camera shot as being about roughly that, which is this camera up here. So I'm going to come around the table again, and we can keep going over some stuff. So audio mixing improves, pretty typical as usual. This, I believe, is new. This is the, it's X keys. It's an X keys XK24, and this is used to control the secondary video mixer. So this actually controls that second TV there, which then feeds into this one. So I can kind of change, and you'll also notice if I select camera 1 on here, this is the main video mixer, and then I touch anything on here. So let's do camera 2. You'll notice that it's switched down there as well. So they're all integrated, and basically if you do anything on this video mixer, it switches over to the second video mixer input on there.
So that's all set up. Of course, we've got shift keys. I've got cutting and fading and everything like that. We'll go back to number 3. So we've got 1 through 6 program, 1 through 6 preview down here, and then I have some extra keys which are not worth describing, and then I have graphics play out here. Not really using this last row yet, but I plan to at some point very soon in the future. These computers are doing nothing right now. So I literally just typed a bunch of gibberish in command prompt, so it's just for the look. I actually had somebody on the last video I made complain about that. They were like, yo, so why did you run like a ping? That's not for broadcast. And I was like, well, it's because it's fake, and I just put it there so that it would look cool. Anyway, and that's also not doing anything. So we got our audience count over here as usual. This is where the scripts normally run that take care of all of the PTZ cameras and the metadata and all that fun stuff. And then we also have this is the main machine here. I did a separate video talking about all these monitors. But this graphics playout computer can actually be controlled from anywhere. Currently it's being controlled from this laptop. So we've got all of our lower third cues and everything there. So if I hit this button on the keyboard, we'll see nice graphic come across there, and that's all 60 frames per second, all individual layers being rendered in real time. We got a clock up there, which is perfectly synced, by the way. And well, it was perfectly synced. It's a couple seconds off right now. But I actually have some scripts that run that NTP sync this whole thing so that all of these clocks are completely perfectly in sync. So if you're ever watching our video feed, you're watching Pharaoh's camera and you can see the clock right there, but then you can also see the clock in the lower third right there. They'll be perfectly in sync. And I kind of was just a little anal about that, wanted to make that perfect. But I'll go ahead and kill this graphic here and we can watch it all animate off. Really, really happy with these graphics. I gotta say thanks to Koji for these. Just so much work was put into them, and they work absolutely fantastic, and they look really cool, and so I'm really happy with those. What else is there to mention? This monitor is relatively newer-ish since last season. This is the main broadcast PC, and this is the secondary broadcast PC. That machine and this machine. This machine does all the HD. Also, there's more audio encoders because we've increased. This is a typical Furcast configuration, and we've got so many audio encoders for all of that stuff. All of these machines record bit perfectly now, and they are redundant. They're also backed up differently. So if the machine fails and the backup fails, chances are we still have a recording and it'll also be bit perfect. They can also take over and broadcast in case one of them fails. This one could do the video feed as well and stuff like that. The bit perfect audio stream is being done by a Debian server right there, and that actually takes its own independent input from the system and then runs custom software with a modified libflac encoder that we had to basically custom compile that does our lossless stream. And we had to custom compile it mainly because, okay, if anybody's trying to get into FLAC streaming, I'm just going to warn you right now, it is not fun. FLAC was never really a codec or format that was meant for streaming, and the packetization on it is just... honestly, it's more of a decoder problem than an encoder problem. VLC Media Player especially had a lot of issues with it. We see Pharaoh pulling into the driveway. That's another addition to the studio. Pharaoh, he's a pretty good guy, so he'll probably be walking in the room in a minute. I'll probably have to go say hi to him. He's coming over to record some vocals for some jingles that we're doing. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's the old pfSense server. Oh, that's the other piece. So we did a complete network upgrade. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see the time-lapse of that happening right now. And that was a lot of fun. We took basically this old, really, really, really shitty server that was just, I mean, power consumption, it got hot, it was noisy, it didn't even have full gigabit in it, it had really, really sketchy Ethernet controllers, just, absolutely terrible, and we replaced it with a brand new machine. So this is the old machine right here. And that time-lapse is a separate thing on YouTube. And then I'll also show you guys a time-lapse of me tearing down this studio so you guys can see what that's like. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll show that right now. And it takes about 30 minutes nowadays to tear down, set up the studio, and then it of course takes a whole nother hour to get all the computers going and figure out how we want to configure things and get things ready for the shows and stuff like that. But anyway, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. And Pharaoh's probably about to walk into the room, so I should probably get off and upload this to YouTube. And I guess we'll continue seeing you guys for the season. If anybody has any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I love talking to you guys about this stuff. I just eat, sleep, live, breathe this stuff. And a lot of this is just based on things that we've had to throw together over years and years of time. You know, with this, it was like, you know, we had the budget to get the camera, but we didn't have the budget to really do anything else. And so that's why this whole thing's a mess, and that'll improve. And we got a whole dedicated battery backup unit for that camera, by the way. Everything is on battery backup now. Let's see, we got UPS, and this is an offline UPS, line interactive UPS, offline UPS, and offline UPS down there that runs all these lights and stuff. And then in the basement, running the server that you guys just saw me do the time-lapse setup of, we have a not line interactive, it's a online double conversion UPS, which is ground isolated, so there's zero switch over time. So there's no chance our network is ever going to go down or have any issues. And we also have a separate managed gigabit switch inside there. It's hidden away in that cabinet for noise reasons, but that's in there as well. And hi, Pharaoh. How's it going? Doing a little studio update video for everybody.
Okay.
Doing good today?
I'm doing fine.
Okay. Want to say hi before I end it?
Hi. I'm not in a fursuit right now. I'm just a normal skin person.
You're just coming over after work.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop the video now.
Okay. Hi.
You okay with me stopping it?
Sure. I'm not prepared for this. Not ready.
Bye, Pharaoh.